Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Good morning there, or good morning. Let's just say good afternoon. It is now officially lunchtime. So it's after 12 o'clock. So, hey, happy Thursday. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're getting ready for the weekend, getting that last minute Christmas shopping in, because it's going to be a busy week next week, not only because of the holidays and the travel and all of your plans, but also just because the weather is just going to be, I don't know. I think Santa's actually coming and bringing some winter with them. I mean, this is going to be pretty brutal. So hope you're happy to be here. Please like and share this video. Tell your friends and family about AT's weather. They can get all the details, the science behind the weather without all the hype and drama and nonsense, clickbait, etc., etc. So I just tell it straight up like it is. Well, out there currently, I'll tell you straight up like it is, it's still a little on the chilly side. I've got 41 degrees here at my backyard Tempest weather station. Got a light west to northwest breeze. Sunny skies out there for the afternoon. And if you'd like to get a Tempest, you can hit that QR code at any time in this broadcast with your phone and go back and watch the replay. Or just go to my website, aarontuttle.com, and you can get a Tempest for you. Get a discount as well for the holiday. Well, currently across the state, we've got lots of, let's just say 40s. For the most part. The only 30s I see are way out in the Texas Panhandle region. So that's good news. At least we're finally getting out of that part. We got some 50s sneaking in there down along the Red River. All right, so that's kind of how things look so far this afternoon. So what we're going to talk about is the big change coming up for next week, because that's where the action resides. So we'll start you off with looking at how the cold air infiltrates the country. This is just looking at the European model. You can pick any model to kind of give you the idea, the big picture as to what's coming, and then each one just differs in the details. But regardless, we'll show you how this purple starts to show up here in northwestern Canada and in northern Canada. Look at that. So all that purple right there, it's the leading edge of that Siberian nasty air with temperatures here to the minus teens and 20s so far. That builds this weekend into early next week, and then the hounds are released by the time we head into Wednesday. And look how it just pummels the southern plains right here between. This is really Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. It just comes surging through Oklahoma, and it's again back into the looks like minus 30s here in parts of Canada and up across the Rockies. So those are actual air temperatures. Those aren't wind chill values. But anyway, so this cold air goes all the way down to Texas by Thursday, along the coastline for the Gulf Coast by Thursday night. Even Florida is not safe by Friday morning. Half the state is actually below freezing. Cold air continues to move through central Canada and down south into the plains, moderates a tad bit here across the deep south, but otherwise the cold air has pretty much encompassed all of the U.S. The exception to the rule may be, if they're lucky, Miami. The tip of Florida might be okay. Otherwise, the rest of the country, except for the west coast of California, is going to be a little on the chilly side. Okay, so how's that look once we zoom in Oklahoma? Break it down for me, right? All right, so first off, we're going to have some cold weather in general next week as it is. So there's going to be some overnight low temperatures into the 20s and even some teens as we head into Tuesday, and then rebounding into the 20s and 30s. So this particular model, this is the American model, the newest version of it, is a little colder, a little sooner in general terms, just from prior cold fronts that come in, much less that the big blast that'll come in for late Wednesday. But here's a look at Wednesday itself. It's still got some teens out there. So it's going to be cold enough. You're going to need your winter coats all next week for the most part. And then on, Wednesday morning, we've got teens warming into the 20s. I'm trying to get to the point where we start to cool down. So here's, I should say cool down. We've already cooled down when we get really cold. So we go to Thursday. Now, the timing depends on the models, of course, and usually the Arctic air will end up coming a little faster than what they indicate, and we're several days away, so the timing on this won't be exact. But regardless, as we head into Thursday afternoon and evening, temperatures fall back into the teens, and then we get down to the single digits for Friday morning. So there's Friday morning, for example, 7 degrees here in Oklahoma City, 4 degrees in Enid. This is just an example of what is potentially on the table, because again, the numbers will change a little, but the consensus is there. It's going to be very cold. Friday afternoon, we stay into the teens. So we don't really get out of the coldest of the cold on Friday. Unfortunately, the cold air is still kind of there for Saturday. We'll start you off once again kind of in the teens, maybe some single digits. Kind of just depends. Again, each model is different. It's going to try to get us into the 20s on Saturday for Christmas Eve. And then on Sunday, it's actually going to try to warm us up probably above freezing. We'll see if there's going to be reinforcing shots of cold air that come in. This latest model here for Christmas Day actually keeps us in the teens and 20s. That's a complete 180 from what it had earlier, when I think it was trying to get us at one point to 50 degrees. And I told you in the video to throw that away. It's not going to happen. But that just shows you the variability, in the model data. That's a polite word of saying it, and you can say garbage also. So let's see what happens upper level wise coming into the Christmas period. We need a storm system, right, to overlay on that colder air. So we'll look at the American model here for this morning. What we're going to focus on, let me load up my little draw map here. This little area to the northwestern part of the country at this particular time frame. This will be for Wednesday morning. This little energy diving in here across the western parts of Canada. Does it drop down into this region of the country and form a low and then move across? Or does it zip on across the northern plains, down across the central plains, and down here to the south and east? All right, so let me put this on there. Does it do a little bit of this and then come across? Or does it do a little bit of this and then kind of skirt us and come across? Big difference. This track here means some flurries, very, very light dusting of snow. This track here means Katie bar the doors. So we shall see what happens in the extended outlook as the models get closer. By this weekend, they'll have the better ideas as to how this will unfold. The reason why I show this is going to show you kind of, there's a hint that it could go to the south view. So here's the American model, keeps it in the north view. The Canadian is a little behind her, so a little behind that, so it's not quite in the frame yet. The UK Met model, if you take a look at this though, all of a sudden, you have this nice dip that forms right here with the low centered here. So what this could mean, it was a nice northern jet punch in this region here. It may dig just a little bit more and give us a better shot at seeing some snow. So the UK Met is in this particular time frame. It doesn't go out any further than this in time, but it has what it's saying is potential for some monkey business. And by the time this would happen, again, would be probably about the 23rd for it, if we were trying to extrapolate in time, since this is on the 21st, to give it some time to get set up. So just kind of a heads up that we're still not completely clear on the outcome as far as winter weather goes. The easy call, some light snow, like a dusting of snow. The Icon model is kind of a mixture of both. It does have this low in this region versus over here in this area. So there's some availability here that something may change. But right now, this track looks like it's going to try to take a northern route. So again, there's a few of the global models that kind of indicate, where we could have this storm system reside. If we take a look at just the GFS and the big picture across the country, we'll start you from today and move it onward time. Let's see if anything big shows up. Okay, you see this little blow up here across the southern plains. So that's on Monday. That's Sunday night, Monday morning. Yes, blue is snow. So yes, we're probably getting a little bit of snow with this. I mentioned this a few times now. Sometimes those southern branch systems can surprise you. So we'll see. We have to have enough cold air in place, but we'll see what happens. That'll zip on in. This first high builds in, surface high. Really cool. Chills us down behind that departing system, right? Now, this is where things get interesting right here. So this is on Thursday. So this is the 22nd. And what do you see there? A lot of the blue on the map. That's some light snow moving through under a big high that comes in right behind it. And then after that, like another little clipper type system comes in for Christmas Eve day. Midday, some light snow. So like I said, these signals are still showing up. Sometimes they're here one minute, gone the next, and they're back. So it just tells you that there is some noise in the data that indicates we might have a little bit of fun around here, but nothing as far as set in stone yet with, winter storm, cancel all your plans, oh my gosh, run to the store, grab all the greens you can, we're going to be buried for days. We're not in that situation, but we are in a situation where at least it looks like we're going to get a little bit of light dusting of snow across parts of Oklahoma. So that much I'm comfortable with saying at this point in time. Anything beyond that, I got to wait to see better data for some consistency for the weekend. But just kind of show you that's the big pattern over the country as to where things reside. Now, if we just a little zoom into that, for example, taking it to the Sunday night time frame here. This is 9 p.m., midnight, and Monday morning. So you can see there's enough cold air according to the model data. It might get a little bit of snow mixed in with the rain here across northeast Oklahoma, say around Tulsa, Bartlesville, etc. Now, again, will this happen? We'll have to see. It's still early. Remember, when you're talking with snow, it's kind of like my tornado rule, which is about a 48-hour rule. So when it comes to snow, it follows about that suit. Why? Way too many things that can jack it up. So that's why you don't want to get overconfident and start over-promising, because then you're under-delivering. Okay, so that little system moves through on Monday. So whether we get anything out of that, the winter variety, it should be light. So right now, the way things look, so that's the way that one goes. All right, so let's see what it is after that. Again, cold air kind of comes in stages. And then on Thursday, so the 22nd, so there's our little indication of some light snow moving through the state with that Arctic blast moving in as the secondary, or who knows, probably the third front by that point in time, push of some colder air, but the big kahuna. And then on, let's see, Saturday, there's 9 o'clock in the morning. So there you go. This is Christmas Eve. And there's usually some light snow that moves through northern, eastern Oklahoma. So the odds of you getting a white Christmas are quite a bit higher than they are normally. Statistically, I think it's horrible. It's like 5%, 0 to 5% across the state. It's pretty low. But, hey, maybe now we're talking 50-50, for at least the central, northern, eastern parts of Oklahoma, depending on the track of that upper low, right? Anyway, so there's Sunday. Did it actually have a little flurry activity? It did. Look at that. Sunday morning, still a little bit of snow, flurry activity. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know. Just put the smile on everybody's face when you see a little bit of light snow for Christmas. Now, once it gets really heavy, becomes travel problems, well, then all of a sudden these smiles on their faces turn Grinch-worthy. But, there you go. It gives you an idea. All right, so let's take a look at the model data for the European. This is the ensemble runs. And the question is it see a signal for snow in that period we talked about? And it does. So a lot of these little members here say, yep, we like this little spot here for the 22nd. Here's, by the way, the little slot here for the 19th. So Monday morning, so this is Oklahoma City, by the way. So it does say it might be cold enough for a little bit of snow mixed in with the rain. Again, that's the Thursday. And then it's got that little signal here also for Christmas Eve day. And then a couple of days after Christmas, and actually Christmas Eve day and Christmas itself, it does have a little flurry activity across Oklahoma City. So there you go. And then a couple of days after that, it looks like the 28th, it's got some signals for more snow, kind of peppered in to the end of the year. Now, not many. See a lot of these blank areas. So these are runs that says, no way, Jose. But then a few of these do say, hey, yeah, you might get a little something. If we kind of blend those together over the course of those 19th and 20th to the 21st, so in other words, that first system for Monday, quite a few of these do say at least something measurable when it comes to snow. Not all of them do, but measurable, like as in a trace. So good news is, hey, going to get cold. Here's the Weather Service climate outlook for the rest of this month, where they do pick the below normal and above normal, as you can imagine, with their pattern that we're in, below normal pretty much all the way from the central divide here to the east. With the exception, if you want to find some warm stuff around this time of the year, always head to the west coast. California will take you in. All right, temperatures here locally in Oklahoma City. You got some 40s again for the next few days, so chilly out there, but not terrible. Overnight lows in the 20s, and then as we head on into next week, again, a couple of dips here. This is a model blend from other models, so some will be a little colder than others. Remember, we did see some teens showing up in the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, so don't be surprised if these numbers come down. As I warned you before, in a very chaotic pattern like this with a big switch, models will do very poorly until you're probably about this period here, Saturday, Sunday. When the model data comes in at this point, it'll know for sure what happens in this area, and it should have a better idea what happens in this area, that 5 to 7 day window. they'll struggle with for right now. All right, so anyway, we get down to the teens and probably even some single digits possibly in this little zone here from Thursday through Saturday, with daytime highs struggling to get out of the teens, maybe even the 20s. And then if we're lucky, I do mean lucky, the 30s. It's going to be a cold pattern. So these numbers, like I've showed you the last few times, if you've noticed, they've gone up and down, left and right, sideways, every which way. And they'll continue to do so. And they'll eventually settle down. And that's why you typically kind of just go, you know what, it's going to be cold. Just get ready for the cold. And that means winterizing your pipes. I mentioned that for your home, your car, antifreeze, right? Your hoses, make sure all those are good. Your pets, make sure they're well protected if they're going to be left outdoors. And that does mean a heat source. This isn't the old days where let old Keller go out there and just rough it, and if it survives, well, good for him. You know, we don't do that anymore. So make sure they're adequately protected. They're brought in. Whatever you want to do. Garages typically work pretty well. They're insulated enough to where they should stay above freezing in most cases. But anyway, so that helps them being directly outside. That's the worst case scenario. We have indoor dogs, so they won't even go outdoors. You gotta force them to go out there to pee because it instantly freezes. Just turns into that. It's like when you're throwing that hot water out there and you just throw it up and it just vaporizes. That's what it's like for those poor kids. It's like, wait a minute, what's happening? All right. So anyway, so there you go. I hope that was fun, educational. Thanks for chiming in and watching. Thanks for the stars from Facebook. So I appreciate that as always. Oh, did I put the link on there? I can't remember if I did or not. Let me go check. Oh, I did not. All right. Some of you sometimes say, hey, I didn't get notified when you went live. I missed it, blah, blah, blah. Well, hit that link I just posted. In that way, you'll never miss a live broadcast because I'll just tell you directly. I'll say, yo, I'm going on. Tune in if you want. Guys on YouTube, always good to see you as well for chiming in. Rumble, again, thanks for you watching. And also on Twitter, you guys that chime in as well. So that's it for me for now. I'll have more updates over the coming days. A lot of times I'll do a live either at lunchtime and or in the evening, like around 9:30. Usually do that because I get obviously a break during the day from work for the lunch, and then in the evening hours after I see the latest data that comes in, hot off the presses, and we take a look at that together, and then we see what is coming our way. All right, guys, been great. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.